All right, today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one from the other videos on the channel. Okay, I'm going to be talking about the mental side of high ticket sales, okay, the emotional side of high ticket sales, and a little bit of the ugly side, okay, of high ticket sales as well. So it's something that I don't see a lot of people in this market talking about. So that's why I'm recording this video for people that maybe is going through the same thing right now as a sales rep or business owner, right, in this space, or also for people that is going to go through this, maybe in 1 month or maybe in 6 months from here. But I wanted to talk about this because it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing on why a lot of sales reps and closers are very successful and why also other ones are not very successful, even though they put, like maybe work to be a successful closer. Okay, so let's touch on this because I have like a Google Doc here that I'm gonna be reading like certain points, right? And again, just to give you some context and pre-frame this conversation in this video, this is something that I've been going through myself. That does not mean that it's going to be the same thing for you, right? Or maybe you have different situation, maybe you have different circumstances, but I'm going to be touching on a little bit of my experience, what I've been going through, right? And maybe you're also relating with this. So I hope this, it's of value if you're watching this. So let's jump into this, okay? The first thing that I want to touch on is, and again, I know a lot of people that are maybe more natural and they have the gift of the gap, right? And they're very good at communicating, all of that stuff, right? But I'm a firm believer that you need to go all in with high ticket sales, especially if you're brand new, especially if you've never done sales or maybe you've never been in the space, right? You need to go all in because the moment that I got this opportunity, I kind of put everything to the side and I put every single amount of energy and time that I had in my hands, I put into this, into getting better at communicating with people, into understanding, people, into just sales, right? Like objection handling, discovery, how to ask questions, how to use tonality, like different aspects that you need in order to be successful with this. Okay, so just give me a second. You need to go all in, especially at the beginning. Okay, you need to put a lot of time into getting better because you're going to be under pressure, right? If you join an offer that is decent, that is okay, that maybe has already a rep, you're going to be competing with that rep, and if you're not performing in 2-3 weeks, you might be out, right? That's the reality of things. Now I'm going to be touching on, you need to go all in, but there's also a limit. I neglected my social life for the past 14-18 months, and back then I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter, like I'm just gonna go all in and I'm just gonna not have friends, like I'm not gonna have any friends, I'm not gonna have any relationships, anything, right? And back then the way I saw it was like, yeah, it's good because all my energy now is on this. You will get to a point where you start making money, right? You might start making like 8K a month, 10K a month, 12K a month, 18K a month, whatever that is, right? And you will be like, okay, I have money now, like I'm getting to my goals. And then you look around and it's you and yourself. In that moment, I can tell you from own experience, is not beautiful. It's a little bit ugly, right? And it's been affecting my ability to close sales over the past 3 months now, 3-4 months, right? Because when I went all in, I neglected everything. I neglected all relationships. I neglected my social life. I stopped going out. But not only that, I didn't connect with everyone. I put all my friends to the side. People from college that I knew, I was not hanging out with them anymore. People that I knew from my whole life, didn't hang out with them anymore. Family, didn't hang out with them anymore because I was in the US, they were in Spain, right? It's isolation, right? And it's a good thing for a few months. Also, if you communicate to others, hey, I'm gonna go through this process just so you can know. But I didn't do it. I just cut it off. And I was just like, I don't care. I need to be successful at this. And I think part of the reason why that happened to me is because I wanted to be successful. I was 4 years in the space. I ran 2 agencies, 2 of them fell, and I needed to be successful at this. It was like, this is my opportunity. I'm not gonna let it happen again, right? So I lost my social life. I lost a lot of relationships, friendships, family, and it affected me in a way where 3 months ago, right, I realized about this. I started realizing. Subconsciously, I didn't know how to properly put it in paper, and now I do. That's why I'm creating this video. But it was affecting me losing sales because the only thing that I was doing, it was just waking up, maybe doing some exercise and going and doing sales training, sales role play, and then obviously taking sales calls, right? Probably taking like 12 calls a day, some days, and I was going to sleep. But that was Monday to Friday, but also Saturday to Sunday. I didn't have calls, but the only thing that I was doing was sitting on this chair and just doing the same thing, just reviewing calls or maybe looking at trackers, maybe looking at this. And it was just like, there was no fun. there was no other emotion rather than just closing and just talking to people there. So that kind of goes to my next point, which is the remote burnout and the isolation that you're gonna have. Because like if you're a high ticket closer, right, you're gonna be working from home. Sure, you can go to the beach and close in Bali, right, and next to a swimming pool or next to the beach, whatever, right? But most likely you won't unless you are, top sales rep, right? Which probably you are not if you're watching this video. So yeah, like it's gonna be a lot of isolation, and you need to balance that. You need to have a time to like wind down. You like what I was doing. I was finishing calls, right? And right now I'm realized I was kind of doing that. I was finishing calls at 11 p.m. or something here in Spain, and I would just like do some tracker and go to sleep. I didn't have like any reading time or maybe just laying on the couch to journal a little bit for 20 minutes. It was just all of that. So there was no fun, and that led me to believe that I was having a job. I remember like 18 months ago, I was learning about sales and I was so excited. I was so obsessed with learning sales, learning communication. I was excited to talk to people. I will have 3-4 calls per day and I would be like, I'm so excited to talk with them. And now it felt like I was having 10 calls a day. It's the same conversation every single time, every single day, the same objection. And you get to a point where you're like, why am I doing this? It's like money is good, but it's just like, why am I doing this, right? And that's when it got me, right? And you need to have those boundaries. You need to have those, like do something in the morning, like go for a walk, right? Go for, do some exercise, and then, you can have somebody, in the afternoon or night where you can talk to. But I didn't have nobody. Everyone that I had was, the owner of the offer that I'm selling for, and like we've been able to create that relationship as well. But it's all related with work, right? And we talk about life, we talk about other things, right? But I kind of neglected my whole social life, and I don't recommend that, because you're gonna get to a point where you're like, what am I doing this for, right? And I was even considering, it's like, do I want to do high ticket sales? Because I got to a point where I was not enjoying it. I was just like rinse and repeat every single day. So I recommend you put your boundaries, right? You put your limits on, okay, this time, like I'm just gonna have dinner, right? And then I'm gonna talk to my girl, or I'm gonna talk to whoever, right? Your best friend or family, whatever you want. But have something that you can just kind of disconnect, because otherwise you're just gonna like explode, right? You're gonna just burn out, right? So another thing that I want to touch on, which is kind of the ugly side of high ticket sales, is that people will not understand your job. People will not understand what you're doing, especially at the beginning if you're starting out. It's like when I'm trying to when I'm trying to explain to people what I'm doing, it's like, what, you're selling courses? Like, what do you mean? And they see it as risky, or they see it as, oh, that might be a scam, right? My parents didn't even believe what I was doing at the beginning, right? And it creates that friction in relationships as well. And I saw that with my past relationship. I saw that with also friends in college. I was like, they were like, what is that, man? Like, what do you mean you're selling courses? They didn't even know the industry, right? So it's also like a hard process to make people understand, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm sitting on this chair 12 hours a day, basically, right? So that's the next point. And I think my last point, well, I have 2 last points here, which is the work can consume your personal life, which is kind of what we were touching before. You're gonna miss like a lot of events from best friends, because maybe you're closing deals. You're gonna miss meals. That there's days that I literally just survive with coffee, literally, and I didn't even eat. And I got to like, I started working at like 11 a.m. I would stop at like 11:30 p.m. and I would be like, holy shit, I didn't even eat. So I also don't recommend that, because you can do that for one day, but I used to do that for like a few days. And then I start having like a fog brain, and it's just like foggy brain. And it's not good, right? So that's that. And last thing I want to touch on is the sacrifices. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to sacrifice a relationship with a girl, or a relationship with friends or family, to do this? My answer to that is, it's kind of like a paradox, right? It's yes and no, right? Yes, because you're gonna sacrifice either way. Whether you're high ticket closer, whether you're an entrepreneur, if you want to get to the next level, you're gonna have sacrifices. And the first sacrifice is your old version of you. The old version of you is not going to be the same version of you that's going to get to 10K a month or 18K a month or 20K a month. It's impossible. Because you have a paradigm, you have a perspective that you're making decisions from, that is not going to be the same required for you to get to that next level. Otherwise, everyone surrounding you will be successful. So you need to first sacrifice that old version of yourself. And when I say that, it's like habits. Are you jerking off? Right? Are you going to that page that you know about? Are you eating well? Are you going to the gym? Are you, all of that stuff? Like you need to start doing completely different things in order for you to get new results. That's the first thing, right? So that's a good sacrifice, because that means that you're gonna develop and you're gonna self-develop, and it's kind of like the alchemy of self from Sam Ovens, right? I got this from Sam Ovens. Is you need to sacrifice a version of you that you have right now. Otherwise, you're not gonna get to that new goal that you have, the 10K a month, because that's a different type of person that's gonna get it, right? That's the first thing. And is it worth it? Yes. All the sacrifices, like relationships, is it worth it? Yes, but to an extent. And to an extent, I mean, you need to let them know, hey, this is what I'm going through. And just so you can know, I'm going to have a little bit less of time with you. And if you're okay with it, that's good. If you're not okay with it, I'm sorry, but maybe we just need to, end this relationship, right? And something that I didn't do correctly is that I just literally cut it off, everything. And people would not understand it. And that will create more friction and more mental problems for me, because I was like, yeah, they don't understand it. But it's because I was not able to explain it to them. And I lost relationships that right now I regret. I regret that. I wish I did it differently, right? And, like maybe if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here creating this video right now and making a good income with high ticket sales. But that's also the ugly side of high ticket sales, the mental side, the emotional state, right? And I know a lot of people don't talk about this, but it's a huge thing. And if you're watching this video, it's like, know your worth, know what you really want to achieve. And again, it comes back to a vision. What is your vision, right? Like in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years down the line. So again, yes and no, it's a paradox, right? There's sacrifice that you're going to do. And if people don't understand it, that's okay. If people understand it and they want to go through that with you, I think that's beautiful. And that's what I think I should have done with a lot of the relationships that I had over the past, years and months, and do it differently. So that's it for today. It's not like a very long video, but that's my perspective. That's my paradigm on the ugly side and the mental side of high ticket sales. So if you found this valuable, just give it a like, right? Or just comment something on what I spoke about right now, and just subscribe. Okay, just subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna be posting more videos like this where I explain just my journey. And again, it's not the thing that maybe you need to do. This is just my journey and how I'm going through it, and just sharing it with you guys. So maybe you get something of value on these 50 minutes, 60 minutes that I've been recording this, and that's it. Okay, so I will see you in the next video, and God bless. Ciao, ciao.